In this video, it is the newly upgraded DeeRC 8618. This is a small-scale four-wheel drive RC bashing truck. What we're going to be doing in this video is getting it out of the box, looking at the parts, looking at the build quality, what comes in the box, how ready to run is it, and then giving it a full test drive. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Troy. This is RoadsideRC. You'll tend to find me bashing or crawling or drifting or racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. Let's get started by getting this thing out of the box. We have Rover four-wheel drive. It looks like these are in two different languages. We have some basic functions of how to operate the car. And we have some exploded diagrams with some part numbers. So if or when you end up breaking some stuff, you have a chance of getting the parts for it. In the box itself, first thing that we see, a couple very nice little batteries here. This is two different lithium-ion 1800 milliamp 3S LiPos. Those are some pretty solid batteries right there. It comes with the DIN or T connector on it, plus a balance port, which means you can charge them on any charger that you want, any hobby grade charger, and there is two of them for plenty of runtime straight in the box. We then have the truck itself. In this box we have battery charger, wheel wrench. That's kind of nice. I like how what they provided there. Some other little spare tools for you. And pretty basic little controller here. Seems pretty similar. Has some throttle dual rates and steering trims and things like that on it. You have to provide 3 AA batteries to get it up and running. Now onto the truck itself. We have normal flexible body. We have wheelie bars on the back. I'm seeing it looks like LEDs on both the front and rear, which is kind of nice. Pretty big tires, pretty stiff tread here. Feels pretty tough. Good for that would be durability. I doubt it'd wear off very fast, especially driving on asphalt and things, but traction is probably going to be a little bit lower. We have metal front and rear skid plates, plastic tub chassis in the middle. Nice oil-filled shocks, no excessive rebound or anything there, so that feels really nice. And with the 4 body clips off, pulling the body off, you do need to remove this sticker because you don't want it to melt to the motor the first time out. It says 5480 kV. That should be a lot of motor to go into this thing. So 3S rated, right? The 3S lithium-ion battery that we have here, plus that means this thing should move. It claims over 50 miles an hour straight out of the box. I will be curious. Maybe we need to put that to the test. It is a standalone brushless ESC with the receiver over here, and plugs it. Some description here of what's supposed to plug in where. Yes, I do see the lights going up here to the front and the rear. I do notice underneath here everything is Phillips screws, which is not typically what we would see on hobby grade. We typically see the hex stuff. Bearings in all 4 corners. Pillow ball little suspension here, which is definitely nice. Some somewhat beefy control arms. I'll be very curious. These uppers get kind of narrow right in here. We'll have to see how strong those are. Adjustable turnbuckles, although for this scale you shouldn't really have to worry about adjusting them much. Metal drive shafts front and rear, and according to the instruction manual, full metal gears throughout and metal drive line in the center. Lower control arms look a little bit noodly, if I'm honest, a little bit thin for a lower control arm, but squared off and triangulated enough, so hopefully they're strong. On the top, it looks pretty dang narrow right coming in through here. We'll just have to see as we give it its first few drives, you know, does this end up being a weak spot or not with the truck. The battery is a snug fit in there, but that's okay. We don't want it to be loose in there for sure. But you're not getting much of a bigger battery in there if I had to guess. So we plug this in, power button right over here. Hey, it plays us some nice music. Controller was already on before I hit that button. Steering feels a little choppy, a little not super smooth. I doubt you'll notice it while driving, but I was a little surprised to see kind of the jerkiness there with the steering straight out of the box. Woo! Alright, that's some power right there. That's... Dang. Notice we do have lights here in the front. I'm going to do just an initial test right here in my garage just to see what the throttle control feels like. Whoa. Feels like there's a slight lag. This is common sometimes in these kind of lower budget RCs. There's a little bit of a lag between pulling the trigger and it actually giving the power. Oh, almost did a backflip. Basher ramp here from Crawler Tracks. Oh yeah. Alright, initial little indoor bash done. We're scraping up the body a little bit, to be expected. It actually has a plastic covering on it that I hadn't pulled off yet, so that's a piece there. So far, nice and durable. So the truck was fun to use in the garage, even small little jumps and everything, it did great. Let's see what it does outside. One of the things you always have to check is grass. So when you get to a smaller scale like this, will it actually go through it well or not? This thing is handling it, that brushless motor in there. And we haven't even mowed my yard recently, so it's a little long. And it's handling it with ease. Oh, I didn't expect it to go over like that. Backflip. Oh. Off this little ramp from Crawler Tracks. This thing's doing backflips. Look at that. That is ridiculous. Alright, now on the box they claim like 50 miles an hour. There's no way. I mean, it's got good speed. It's fun fast. But 50? That's a little being brave and optimistic, I think. Back from the first bash session, battery lasted really long, actually. I didn't time it. I meant to time it. I completely forgot. The battery lasted quite long. Very happy with that. Truck did great. As I'm looking at it now, I'm seeing, I had some crashes in there and stuff. I'm not seeing anything bent. I'm not seeing anything broken. Again, we'll be looking at these control arms. We'll be looking at the shocks, looking at the drive shafts. Everything looks in tip-top shape. No bent shock shafts, nothing like that. Now, I will say, motor is toasty. It's even been sitting here for a couple minutes and it's toasty. So if you are going to be running in tall grass, things like that, you need to watch your motor temperatures. You need to drive it a little bit. You need to let it like take a break, cool down. A fan, if you mounted a fan on here, you'll see this is a heatsink on here, but you can actually take that off and you can put a heatsink and fan combination. Any air movement across it to help dissipate that heat would be very, very welcome. But honestly, the truck has done really, really well. I'd say the power was good, suspension was good, durability has been good. Very happy with it. It delivers on anything that it would say. Maybe the speed thing, maybe that's the only thing, is I think it claims a higher speed than what it'll actually do, but it is plenty fast for the scale that it is at. I think if it was any faster, might be a little bit too much. Two major concerns that I have with the truck. First is the throttle control. It definitely has some level of a softening or ramp up in the throttle you grab the throttle and it takes it a minute to ramp the power in. That means things like jumping smoothly, doing donuts, the backflips, all that, just a little bit more difficult than they would otherwise be if you had that little bit more of a direct punch to it. The second concern is the price. Honestly, regular price is just at $200, which $199, which is probably a little bit steep. Now, I'll show you a screenshot here. It's on sale on a regular basis, $159, and that makes it a much more appropriate deal. There's a number of vehicles in this scale, brushless four-wheel drive, that are somewhat interchangeable with this truck, that are in that like $150 or just under price range. So, and this one has a lot of good parts with it, all of the nice components. So I think if you can get it while it's on special for somewhere in that, you know, just above 150-ish range, it's a good deal. It's a fun truck that I expect will be very durable, and that price range seems very appropriate. Now, if you are interested in buying this truck, I will have a link to it down in the video description. Hopefully they're still running that discount for you as you go down and look at it. If you're curious about any of its competitors, I'll have a whole vehicle review playlist that'll be popping up over here to your right at the end of the video. That's where I've reviewed all of these vehicles before, so you can see what its competition is like. If you have any questions about anything that I've done in this video, please leave them down in the video comments, and I hope to see you in another video. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.